What's up, y'all? This is Jordan with Be Ready Self-Defense, and today we're going to do some commentary on a sparring with a training knife video of yours truly, sparring with my buddy Ethan. So that's me in the maroon shirt, Ethan in green, just slowing things down here until we actually get into the content. But the context of this is we are doing MMA sparring, and then Ethan has a training knife tucked into his shorts. And at any time, he can go ahead and draw that training knife, attack me, and I have to defend, whether that's disengaging safely so I can run away, or maybe just controlling the fight and finishing with strikes or a takeaway or something along those lines. We'll kind of see that in a little bit here. So if you do like this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and share. We're trying to get up to 200 subscribers by the end of the month. So that would really help me out. So thank you so much there. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so we're just starting out with some MMA sparring here. Now I'll start the excuses now. This is one of our last rounds, so we're definitely getting kind of tired, getting a little sloppy, but trying to keep it as sharp as possible. But the main thing is I'm going to be looking for the visual cue of Ethan going to draw the knife. I want to try and start my defense as early as possible. So now you're going to see here in a second, he's going to start to draw the knife right about here. So as I see him draw the knife, I want to start that entry as soon as possible. Now we have a whole entire video on knife entry, so feel free to check that video out here in the top right corner. But the first mistake I make is I kind of chase the knife as opposed to chasing the shoulder. I correct a little bit right here with just a frame on the stabbing hand, and I want to try and apply as much forward pressure as possible, right? Really get in there as much as possible. And here I get kind of an inside control with an overhook, and I'm going to throw just a knee to start out. I had the balance to throw that. And then I want to try and start to work my way from inside of the elbows to outside of the elbows. So we see a quick arm drag, and then I'm going to start to work my way to the outside. Now I want to pause right here or just replay this part. So you'll notice when I do this arm drag, I do keep the knife away from me. However, notice I'm not very high up on his shoulder. I want to have that my left arm higher up, kind of past his elbows, and I want to have my shoulder more on top of his shoulder, bearing weight on it. So if we watch this again, I get an effective arm drag, but I don't quite shift my hips in close enough to get my shoulder in there. I do get some head pressure, but because I'm not in the right position, Ethan's able to kind of get that inside collar tie on me and then switch up positions at this point.
Yes.
So right there, my friend Perrin is just congratulating me on getting that duck under right there. So even though I did kind of lose position when it first started, I was in that front 2-on-1, but my head was kind of on the wrong side. And then Ethan starts to go for that headlock, but I'm actually going to use that to my advantage, as we see right here. And we'll replay the clip again, so don't worry. But I'm going to use that energy of him going for the headlock to get that duck under and take his back. So what's really cool about that is right now I'm inside of his elbows, and just with one move, even from a bad position, but with that one move, with the duck under and reading that energy, it's going to allow me to get from the inside his elbows all the way to his back. And it's hard to tell, but I am keeping my left hand still controlling the knife. So I get all the way to the back, and it allows me to get that gift wrap on the knife as well. So giving me a pretty good point of control. And I bring my other arm around too, just to really reestablish that. So one more time, I'm inside the elbows. I feel that headlock on, so I'm going to duck under that headlock, keeping control of the knife still with my left hand, giving me a gift wrap. And now I get all the way to his back. And we're going to see here in a second, once it speeds up again to normal, I'm going to go for a sweep. But unfortunately, kind of just due to lack of energy, I'm going to mess up on my sweep a little bit, or my trip. So yeah, when I go to do the trip, I kind of mess up and I don't get a good post on my right arm to allow me to sweep my left leg over and get into mount, and he kind of blocks me off with his left knee. And in this case, I don't really want to be entangled in his guard on the ground while he has a knife. That's definitely not a great position for me. So that's something to be aware of if you are going to go for a sweep or trip of some sort and take it to the ground. Be ready to perhaps not get into that advantageous position that you were hoping for. In this case, kind of exhaustion and lack of energy. I messed up that trip and didn't get into mount and potentially got into a dangerous scenario there. However, I do kind of, we'll replay this again, but near the end, I do kind of realize that that's not a good spot for me. So I go ahead and disengage from his guard and stand it back up. And at that point, you probably could just run away or maybe draw your weapon or something along those lines. But for the sake of the drill, we're going to go ahead and keep going. I'm going to allow Ethan up, and you're going to see a really sloppy entry by me here in just a second. Yep, not my best work. Yeah, so I go for a really sloppy entry, and we say with knife defense, you're either 100% in or 100% out, and you can see right here I kind of freeze going in and then kind of get this sloppy frame / catch as I'm coming in there. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I do get an overhook on his right hand, and I get some inside control and some knees in there, so that's good. But then another kind of sloppy arm drag where I don't get very high up on the shoulder. That we'll see pretty soon here. But we're actually going to kind of stop right there. I want to see if you guys like this style of video. If so, we'll go ahead and do a part 2 and show you the rest of this of our sparring session here. There's some really cool things in the rest of this video that we can break down that I would love to share with you. But first, I just want to see if you did like this style. If you did like this video, once again, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next one. If you did like it, feel free to leave your comments below. Let me know if you like this video, and we'll continue on with part 2. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, train perfectly, fight ferociously, and be ready.